But I know I've met very many gay people, probably even around the hotel. I'm sure I've hugged very many, because it's not written on anybody's faces. So this guy came, and we even took a photo, and we chatted. I chair the Cabinet Standing Committee on Human Rights. And we have even said we're ready to listen to what they have to say. Every nation has grappled with this issue. Britain started in 1974 when they set up a commission to study this matter. The president of Uganda has said being gay is not an offense. But the media in America insists that Uganda has criminalized being gay. It is the act which is criminalized. And we have also found that the Ministry of Health has already issued a directive to all the health centers that there is no discrimination whatsoever. Nobody is going to be harassed. So we really beg you, because you know the system here. For us, we do not know how American press, and when we were campaigning for peace talks, we used you people through the Northern Forum and so on. It is you people who were telling the members of Congress that, look, people are dying, there's a humanitarian crisis. So in the same way, tell them that the media in North America and elsewhere is telling lies about the law. That's not the truth. The law does not criminalize your being gay. It criminalizes the act. And then Uganda also has due process. Now the press here writes as if the moment you are arrested, you are immediately hanged, you know, like a Jim Crow kind of law. They just hang you immediately. You will obviously go to court, you will have a lawyer to defend you, and the death sentence is no longer mandatory. It is at the discretion of the court. Uganda last executed somebody 16 years ago. So I am appealing to you to also be our advocates, because our long-suffering ambassador here, I'm sure that's the only topic they discuss with her. But you people are connected. Some of you work for the US government. Use your networks to also tell the people that, please, we demand fair reporting about this matter, because presenting Uganda as if it is some kind of hell, it doesn't work. And the World Bank, Uganda is a member of the World Bank, by the way. You know, the World Bank is a membership organization. So it is not true that the World Bank can just sit alone and say nothing is going to happen. We are members. We are members of the World Bank, but I think for PR purposes, the World Bank wanted to appear like it is also, you know, tough but those who have been in government longer than me, they know what happens backstage. So backstage, there's a very healthy conversation going on. but in front, there is this, you know, a clenched fist that, you know, Uganda is going to suffer because of this. Of course, the president of Uganda has said, well, we will survive if that is the case. So, but you are the people who, you the professors, are the ones now to pick up the pen and sign a petition to the World Bank as Ugandans in the diaspora and say that, please, don't misunderstand Uganda, because you are making your decision based on wrong information. When the World Bank delegation met President Museveni, they came back with a changed mind, but they had already attacked us. The Canadian Prime Minister was the first to attack.
With the getting IDs and passports. So there's certain areas where we need some approvals in cabinet. So the assurance I want to give you that we are aware about your concerns and we are following them up with our diaspora desk, with following up with foreign affairs, with internal affairs, and then of course we feed into foreign affairs. Thank you on that one. On the World Bank, I think there has been some misunderstanding, and I can say the gentleman who asked the question also had some, understand what they came up with, maybe, if I put it that way. What the World Bank, their statement was to stop, to put a stay on new projects which are not yet reached the board. So what you saw recently the Parliament passing were projects which have already been passed by the board. So the projects which are already passed by the board are continuing. And for the new projects, their concerns were, will the implementation of the Anti-Homosexuality Act not create discrimination in respect to people who are homosexuals, for instance? So that was their major concern. And they wanted assurances from the government of Uganda that the implementation of the act won't create discrimination between homosexuals and non-homosexuals. We have been engaging the World Bank team back home in Uganda, between the Minister of Foreign Affairs, between the Minister of Finance and the President himself. We have given them those assurances that the implementation of the act as it is today won't create discrimination against anyone. In any case, when the Parliament first passed the bill and it went to the President, he returned it and asked Parliament to amend it so that the new amendment was in such a way that by mere being a homosexual in Uganda is not criminal. So that amendment would have caters for most of the concerns.
Use her, but we wanted to restrict ourselves to the political climate on policy and applicability of policy. For the lawyers, my learned friends that are here, I'm a lawyer myself, they can handle that. But if it was a matter of interpretation, that appears in the Constitution and in the Registration of Titles Act. He who appears on the title is the rightful owner. The rest is a contest, customary, etc., and other land tenures. And that was discussed yesterday, which would be the best practice rule. Now, the question should be to us as leaders, that if we want development, what should we apply from planning to execution? And that is where you see the entire confusion. That is where we come in as leaders, because courts have roles to play in interpretation, because every scenario is not uniform. Then there is total political interference, where courts in Uganda have not been left to operate. You own a land title, for example, Mr. Karuya, you're here, people go and encroach on your land, and tomorrow you cannot evict them because an RDC has sent out an order that is politically motivated. Now, there is a conflict between law and reality. Because I know, I'll give you an example of General Bogere. He owned his land, he has it, people come and encroach, build, and start saying they have been there for the last 30 years. And you can't evict them because there is a presidential directive. And this will affect every single person, every one of you that is here. Their objective is to become a landlord somehow. But if we are to go back on policy direction, if we want the development we see in these countries, do we have the best land tenure system where people own land in perpetuity? Where I can own a piece of land in the middle of Kampala Road, and I say, in my will or whatever it is, omwana n'omusukulu temutundanga. And you find an old structure like this on Munyonyo Road, and they can't sell because in the will of the grandfather it's clear no one can sell. Therefore, we should be addressing the issue of the land tenure system now, vis-a-vis what the Idi Amins had left in the decree where all land is owned by the state. So we cross-reference that for countries that have stepped towards modernization, for example, you look at Rwanda and you see the pattern of urbanization. Then you compare it to us where everyone owns land and everyone.
That take years. It's even more costly than coming to pick your ID from the ambassador. Going to Kampala for a hearing is even more costly. So I propose that the leadership of UNAA really works with us now that we have the Honorable Nankabirwa here, who has been with you and worked with you all this time.